Alright, so welcome to SouFLoTV again, everybody. It's your host with the most. So, for those of you who don't know what ICE means, ICE, it means Immigration, Customs, Enforcement. And then you're seeing 21 Savage's picture, a famous rapper from Atlanta, Georgia, or that we thought. Alright, so the leading story goes Atlanta rapper 21 Savage arrested by ICE for allegedly overstaying visa in the US. Who would have thought? I know you're wondering, why am I seeing this girl's picture? Because she's associated with a lot of dudes, and I knew nothing of 21 Savage until he got his moment with this woman right here, Amber Rose. But anyways, the Grammy-nominated rapper 21 Savage, who has long been associated with Atlanta, has been arrested by U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement. The agency says that he is actually a UK resident who overstayed his visa and that he now faces deportation. The news has come as a surprise to his fans, as you can imagine. They all assumed that the rapper was from Atlanta, as he has convinced a lot of people to believe, as he has often talked about his tough childhood growing up in the city's east side. As the Atlanta Journal-Constitution puts it, 21 Savage, whose real name is Shah Yah bin Abraham Joseph, has long been considered a local act. The 26-year-old first appeared on the rap scene in 2015 and has since rocketed to success. In December, he scored his first #1 hit on Billboard charts for his latest album, I Am Greater Than I Was. It turns out he was a UK national who came to the US as a child, but then overstayed his visa, federal officials are saying. He was taken into custody Sunday morning during a targeted operation in Metro Atlanta. ICE spokesman Brian Cox said, as reported by the Associated Press. In July of 2005, when he was 13 years old, Abraham Joseph, aka 21 Savage, entered the US legally, had all rights to do so and a proper paperwork, but he overstayed in the country after his visa expired a year later. The rapper was convicted of felony drug charges in 2014. Red flag, Cox said, but ICE was not aware of his immigration status at that particular time and only learned of it later, an ICE official told the Journal. According to CNN correspondent Nick Valencia, Abraham Joseph, aka 21 Savage, was in the car with another rapper who was being targeted for criminal arrest. After law enforcement learned about his immigration status, Abraham Joseph was taken into custody, and his lawyer, Dinah Lapote, told the AP that she has been working to get him out, saying that her client is a role model to young people. Oh man, I gotta laugh at that part. A role model to young people. I don't know. Guns, drugs, sipping from the double cup, constantly inebriated, high, talk about a lot of killing niggas, this, that, whatever. I mean, I give it to him. He has a song, he has songs that are radio friendly, which means they aren't laden with cuss words and profanity and sick talk. But end of the day, if you listen to the songs, I don't know how that's anyways, as 21 Savage, Abraham Joseph had a commitment to tell the stories of his life in Atlanta's Zone 6 Billboard wrote last month. Referring to the east side of Atlanta, you know those stories always sell. I grew up in a house with no daddy. My mama had 6 kids by 5 different men. We were broke. I used to eat my cereal off the floor, what was left out of the box, because all that usually sells a lot. And apparently that was the life he lived in Atlanta East Side after leaving the UK. And he must have been a minor So I'm guessing that his parent, mom, made him overstay because things are probably shitty in the UK for him as well. People don't know that the UK could be as grimy as hell. And matter of fact, let me let you in on something. The kind of music that 21 Savage does, he is extremely huge in Europe, and particularly in the UK. And right now they have what's called a stabbing, slashing, cutting, chopping wave going on in the UK. And his music is, or that type of music is seen to be something that is fueling that violence among the youths in London. Don't ask me, ask someone that's from there. I'm just wondering, where did his British accent go? And how did he pick up on that accent from Atlanta so good? But anything is possible. I guess he really wanted to form a new person, and he did. I'm still thinking this is a mistake and they're going to let him out. And I don't know. Anyways, the East Atlanta rapper has been repping the neighborhood he grew up in and rapping about the violence and pain that he encountered and inflicted since he first stepped onto the recording booth. Abraham Joseph has said the 21 in his name refers to a street gang in Decatur, Georgia, CNN reported. At the time of his arrest, his Wikipedia page has said that he was born in Atlanta, according to Washington Post. The news of Abraham Joseph's true nationality has been met with shock online by fans. Of course, they can't believe it. People are saying he's a mate. I don't know, that's what they call mate. Anyhow, the news of his true identity has been received in a shocking manner, as fans responded with bemusement. How many savages is he in metric? Asked one commenter on Reddit. The whole world feels wrong right now, and somebody got to do some basic conversations for me. God help us if Outkast also turns out not to be from Atlanta next. So you got Atlanta is mad that they're losing 21 Savage because he is seen as talented, prominent artist, made it to the top of the charts, top Billboard. It is an achievement, right? And now it turns out that he is not really even from America, let alone from Atlanta. But the British are willing to welcome him, especially those in London or the UK. They're definitely willing to welcome him back home because he will be seen as one of theirs that ran away from the struggles that they are still facing to this day and made something huge of himself. Now, the only thing about this is, if he's worth $5 million US, if he takes it to the UK, he's probably going to end up being worth about 2.5 million pounds, which it'll still be in the M's. He'll still be talking about M's in his bank account, but it'll only be half of his money because their pounds is worth more than our dollars. And I refer to the UK again, and I say this. A lot of people are not aware of the situation in the UK. It is pretty much the same as in the USA. It's funny to me, last time I was in the UK, they were the ones that were wearing straight cut jeans, Air Max trainers, hoodies and whatnot, and vintage tees. And they used to laugh at us for wearing baggy clothing. And now they're the ones that are wearing, the scene has totally flipped, and they have emulated. If you have not checked out anything from the UK, go and YouTube UK grime, London grime music, or trap music, or whatever genre of music you want to call it here. It's there. They have their own version of it, their own subculture of it, their own culture of it. Right? So I think 21 Savage will fit in just fine and he'll do alright if he is deported. But I don't think that's what he wants right now. And if that's not what he wants for himself, then that's not what I want for him either. But the law is the law. I'm out.